Good day, Facebook Live. Let's get Instagram going real quick. Whoop, do not take a picture of myself. Let's get this one crack-a-lacking. Hey, good day, Instagram Live. As you're tuning in, I'd love to know, as always, number one, where you're tuning in from. Number two, love to know three things you're grateful for. Today, we're going to be talking about, on day number 41 of our 100-day personal performance and business growth challenge, we're going to be talking about something that, if not handled quickly, can massively slow you down. Today's topic is feeling lonely? ? Now, loneliness, what we want you to be able to accomplish through this little 10-something minute section here is to go from feeling anxious, lonely, or alone to feeling grounded, blissful, and peaceful. And we're going to give you three things you can do, or one thing you can do each day, but three simple steps that can help you make that adjustment from anxious, lonely, or alone to feeling grounded, blissful, and peaceful within the next few minutes here. So let's see. Phil from Brisbane, grateful for this morning. Good day, friend. Let's see. Hello from Chiang Mai. Welcome back. Matthew, what's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Hera, welcome. All kinds of people tuning in from all over the world. I'm very grateful for you all. Let's see. So let's dive in. Hello from New York. Welcome, Summer. Let's dive into today's topic and see if we can jam through this for you all. Hello, I'm new. Welcome. Naeem, welcome from Puerto Rico. Rob, what's up, buddy? Welcome. Hello from Liverpool, Netherlands. Hey, Netherlands. Hello, Brazil. Hey, two people from Brazil. Nashville, Tennessee, India. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so let's dive in. Today we're talking about the possibility of feeling lonely, alone, or anxious, and how to turn that into grounded, blissful, and peaceful. So the problem we're facing here is people in a moment you've ever felt lonely or alone. So real quick, by raise of hands in the comment section, how many of you have ever felt lonely? How many have ever felt alone or anxious about this concept? And whether that's in an intimate relationship, like, will I ever find the one? Or, raise your hand, give me a little heads up if you really, truly have just gotten home and sat down, and the truth is, you get home, there's no one there, it's dead silent, you sit down, you pick up a little glass of water, and this is either blissful peace for you, or this is a horror story moment in your life, because now you have to face the real challenge, which is everything going on in here. And for most people, we're not comfortable with what's really going on in our own mind. Therefore, we're always looking for a distraction, whether it's another person, whether it's the internet, whether it's Facebook, whether it's, oh my God, a million things, your family, your kids, whether it's something at work. It's a constant distraction to figure out how to eliminate having to actually listen and communicate with what's going on here, or creating enough space that you can just be in total silence with no thoughts. So, one of my friends went and did I think it's called Vipassana retreat, which is a silent retreat. And she said by far, it was one of the hardest things she's ever done in her life, because she was literally in 7 days of absolute silence, without communicating, without speaking, without reading, without listening to music, without on her device or anything else, just total and absolute silence for 7 days. Now, those of you who have like 6 kids, you might be going, please, God, send me there. But for most people, total and absolute silence, no communicating, no reading, no speaking, nothing, is a very difficult process. I did 2.5 days of this years ago, and in 2.5 days was a journey. It was really a journey. And so for those 2.5 days, the first, let's say, so many hours was my brain just kind of buzzing over all the things that I had been working on, thinking about, looking into, going after. All the stuff was just kind of buzzing through my head. After about 3-4 hours, that kind of simmered. And then my brain began to just kind of identify stuff like that's a bird, that's a tree. Oh, look at the bird in the tree. That's interesting. Oh, there's another person. That's interesting. It just started calling out random stuff around me. Now, after it got done calling out random stuff, by day, this kept going on until about a day 1.5, maybe. And day 1.5, so about, 12 hours in the day 2, all of a sudden it was weird. It stopped just identifying random stuff. It stopped just calling out random things. And it started to find some sense of just peace in the moment. And it was interesting. And then every now and then something would just kind of come up, just a random thought, a random feeling, a random thing. And it would be like, oh my gosh. And then my brain would like go to work on arguing or negotiating or thinking through, or they shouldn't have done that or should have done that, or I feel this way or I don't feel this way, or I should feel this way or I shouldn't feel this way. And it was just processing things that were kind of in the nervous system. One by one, it would just kind of let it go and go through it and then let it go. And I noticed there was a process that really helped with this. What it was helping is a couple things. It was helping sort through all the stuff. And the real true fear in that is you have to work through some stuff that's kind of uncomfortable. And in that coming up with the stuff, most people, the way they handle this is just be really busy all the time, constantly distracting yourself, constantly having something to do, constantly having to work, constantly having to be around people, constantly to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, and the next thing. And the real good ones at disguising this, disguise it even really good. Like, I volunteer a lot. And even though volunteering is a beautiful thing, they're volunteering as a distraction to not have to have time with themselves. And so if you're one of these people, I've certainly done this at times in my life, you got to make space. The other piece that's going on here is it's the deep-rooted fear of being comfortable with your truth, of what's really going on inside of you that no one else knows about. Thoughts from your past, your present, your future, stuff that's really going on that you have to kind of work through. And people use all kinds of distractions around this stuff. They use food to distract themselves. They use, the internet and TV and other people. They use reading books. They use good, healthy stuff sometimes, or really negative stuff sometimes. And what happens is you spend time actually working through this stuff. There's a couple steps that help. Number one is you need a plan of how to work through the actual stuff that comes up. And so a plan, I can give you 3 steps that are very, very useful. The first is just acknowledging what comes up, because stuff is going to come up. If you're going to take time to do this, stuff will naturally just kind of come to the surface. And so the very first thing you got to do is acknowledge it. If you want to write this down, acknowledge it. You just got to acknowledge it. Like, oh, that's something. That's interesting. Just acknowledge it. Notice that it's there. Number 2, you got to appreciate it. Now, this is hard sometimes, because sometimes when we go appreciate something that's not that comfortable in our nervous system, it's a little difficult to do. So you got to figure out, okay, what can I appreciate about this? And if your brain goes, nothing, you got to go, okay, brain, what can I appreciate about this? And your brain goes, nothing. Like, okay, brain, what can I appreciate about this? Force your brain to find at least 2 or 3 things you actually can appreciate about it. And then from there, you got to either let it go, just be like, okay, I noticed it, I appreciated it, I let it go. Or you got to adjust it, notice it, appreciate it, adjust it into something that really serves you. And so my challenge for you is to do this for 20 minutes at a time. I challenge you to find a place. This is very hard sometimes, very, very hard. This is not an easy task, but this is something that'll absolutely transform your life. It'll take that moment where you come home, you grab a glass of water, you sit down on the couch, it's totally silent, and it'll take that from the worst, loneliest, anxious, feeling alone and caught up in your own crap, to all of a sudden in a beautiful, blissful, relaxed place that you feel grounded, blissful, and peaceful in that moment instead. And it's partially about taking control. It's taking control of your focus, certainly, but it's also learning how to stand in a place and be in a place that you can just observe. You can acknowledge what's going on. You can appreciate it. You can either accept it, adjust it, or let it go. But taking 20 minutes a day to just create space to just be is the challenge from today. And it'll be harder for some people than others, but that's the challenge. And my goal, if you're committing to doing this 20 minutes every day, my goal for you would be to go from anxious, lonely, or alone in those moments to grounded, blissful, and peaceful. And it's really simple. There's just 3 little steps. Acknowledge that it's there, appreciate it, adjust it. David says meditation helps with this. Absolutely does. Now, meditation is clearing the mind and partially this process, but this process specifically is for people who feel lonely, people feel alone, people who are constantly feeling anxious, people are constantly feeling like they're just uncomfortable in that quiet space. And so we want to make a very simple challenge, a very simple thing you can do. And it's simple, but not easy. And so if you're committed to doing this, tag a friend who can do it with you. Choose to find someone who can participate, but take time to do this. Let's say for the next 7 days, just commit to 20 minutes a day of just silence, just being, and just allowing yourself to acknowledge what comes up, to appreciate it, either let it go or adjust it or just be with it. But if you can practice this process, acknowledge it, appreciate it, adjust it, or acknowledge it, appreciate it, and just let it go, you'll find really powerful peace in that quiet space instead of anxiousness, loneliness, or feeling alone. So I hope you find that peace. I hope you find the groundedness, and I hope you find that blissful moment of silence instead of the crazy, chaotic barrage of thoughts that shows up in those spaces for some people. So have fun with this. Use it. Tag a friend. Share it with someone who you know needs it. Should this be at the end of the day? It could be the first thing you do in the morning. It could be the last thing you do. It could be straight up in the middle of the day. Thank you for sharing. I've really been needing to hear this lately. You're so welcome. So very welcome. But take this challenge, do it for 20 minutes a day. And if you can start with 20 minutes, see if you can build it out to 30 minutes, 40 minutes, see if you can go to 60 minutes. It'd be one hell of a challenge. But if you can do it, you'll see what happens and you'll see how much energy it releases. This is exactly what it's for. So can you share your thoughts if you're overthinking these things where you're aware of your mindset, but you just can't seem to adjust it? You might just need to let it go. So that might be acknowledge the fact you're overthinking, appreciate the fact that your mind's doing it for some special reason, let it go. Like, okay, great. Next thought, let it go. So there was a young lady, let me make this more personal. There was a young lady I was talking to. I don't know where she was from, but she was struggling emotionally this morning. I was just chatting with her in the comments, and she was sharing how she doesn't want to live anymore and she's overwhelmed. And I said, well, what's going on? Tell me specifically what's causing this, because she was alone and it was just going. And she says, well, here's the thing. My mom has these problems and my family have these problems and I have these problems and this situation is going on and this is going on at school and this is going on with my friends and she had all this stuff, just like a giant ball of yarn, all jumbled up, and it was like, ah! And she's like, and that's why I don't want to live anymore. That's why I feel like I should just die. And I was like, whoa, easy. Let's pick one thing to work on first. And she's like, but here's the thing. It's not just one thing. It's this and 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 this. And I was like, okay, here's what I need you to do. I need you to breathe right now. I said, please do this breath 4 seconds in through your nose. Hold for 4 seconds. Out 4 seconds through your mouth slowly. Hold for 4 seconds. And she's like, yeah, but I can't. But there's all these things. How do I handle this? And I was like, whoa. Here's the next what I need you to do. If you still can't let it go and there's still all that going on, I need you to go take a 3-minute ice cold shower, as cold as the thing can go, to the point that when it hits your body, you go, because you can't freaking breathe when the ice cold hits you. That kind of cold. I need 3 minutes, set a timer, do not get out until 3 minutes is up, and then come and talk to me. She's like, yeah, but like, shower. So if you're listening, push pause, go take your 3-minute shower, come back afterwards and hit play. I'll give you a second for those of you who need to go take your 3-minute ice cold shower because there's too much going on up there. Part of why we're saying take a 3-minute ice cold shower is it's going to shock your nervous system. It's going to put you into a slight state of fight or flight, which is going to cause all the adrenals to fire. It's going to reset your entire mind and body, and it's going to wash away all the chaos that's in your mind in that very moment. You will not be able to think about all this shit after you hit an ice cold shower for 3 minutes. I guarantee it. If you don't believe me, go try it and see what happens. And so she came back and I said, how do you feel? She said, I feel like it just washed away all the crap that was in my head. I said, no shit. So what do we do from here? I said, before you start thinking of one thing, because the moment you do one, it might cascade into 20 again. You're going to have to hit the shower again. I said, before you do that, first, practice 5 minutes of calm box breathing. 4 seconds in through your nose, hold for 4 seconds. Breathe out slowly for 4 seconds, hold out for 4 seconds, and repeat. Calm your nervous system. Take control of your body. And all of a sudden she did. And I said, how do you feel? She said, I feel really good right now. I said, okay. She goes, actually, I feel kind of happy. I just texted a friend. I'm like, no, don't fuck it up. I said, just kidding. Excuse the language. I was messing with her a little to have fun, but she was all of a sudden feeling happy. It's like, what the hell? 7 minutes ago, you told me you were depressed, ready to kill yourself. You took an ice cold shower. You did 5 minutes of box breathing, and all of a sudden, you feel happy? What changed? Do you notice you have complete and utter control of this right now? She's like, maybe. And then she started to go into a little bit of a rant. Yeah, but what about this? It's like, whoa. Notice the pattern. When you have control is when you knock your nervous system back into a solid place with that 3-minute ice cold shower. You then take control of your calm state to stay focused and breathing. And then you only deal with one single thing at a time. That's it. One at a time. If your brain starts to go to many, cut it off, reset, go back to one. Go back to one. Now, once you have one, ask, what do I need to accomplish with this one thing? And work through it calmly while still breathing calm. If you start to get nervous, you start to get worked up, go back to calm. If you can't control it and it starts going and spiraling, straight to the shower. 3 minutes more of ice cold shower. Reset the nervous system, come on back, go back to 5 minutes of calm box breathing, 4 seconds in, hold for 4, repeat. Then try to handle one thing at a time. If you keep doing this, your body is really smart. Your body does not like that cold shower. And so what happens is the shock of the cold shower, your body learns real damn quick. Oh, crap. If I don't handle one single thing at a time, I'm going to get cold showered again. That ain't worth it. Slow down, brain. And all of a sudden, you'll watch. Maybe some people are stubborn enough they have to do 2 cold showers, or maybe even 3 if you're real stubborn. Your body will figure it out real quick and go, oh, slow down the thoughts one at a time. Now, going back to the question of what someone wrote earlier, what if you can't let it go? Straight to the cold shower. It'll knock it out of you. I guarantee you get out of the shower and you'll be like, okay, I can't think of anything. Now, if you can't think of anything, go back to the box breathing. Then once you're calm, handle one thing at a time. Practice this, but go back to what we started with. If you're anxious, lonely, or alone, you want to feel grounded, blissful, or peaceful, really, truly, simply go back to 20 minutes of silence, acknowledge, appreciate, and either adjust it or let it go. And if you can practice this 7 days, you'll see a lot of beautiful space show up in that silence in your life instead of it being a crazy place that you don't like to go. So tag a friend who needs this. Enjoy it. Great questions. And I'll see you all tomorrow for day number 42 of our 100-day personal performance and business growth challenge. See y'all soon.